Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your timeless work, career, and vocation read. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Production since 1998. I know what I'm talking about. Author of Words of Grace for Professional Witch, available on Kindle. Link in the description box. Creator on Patreon. Patreon.com/Drawing the Circle. The Archangel Lyons. Markangelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hey, love. Having fun this morning getting ready to do these readings. Have a coffee date later with a student of mine who's visiting family in the area, and then doing the other video and see what happens next. Talk about a day of work, career, and vocation. If you are new to the channel, Work, Career, Vocation is what I call a 3-level of power reading, taking your life purpose and bringing it into a level of work, career, and vocation. There are chakras involved. I learned about the 3 levels of power from Carolyn Myss. That's MYSS. She's a PhD. These are her archetype cards, and there is a link to a YouTube video in the description box by Dr. Myss, talking about the 3 levels of power, which you can apply to other areas of your life. This we're doing work, career, and vocation. So it is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and check your other signs, because your sun sign might have its leverage in work, your moon sign, this may not be for everybody, your career, and perhaps your Venus or your rising in your vocation. So to find your leverage in one of them brings the 3 of them together, balances a little bit more, does the alchemy, so you experience more fulfillment, fulfilling your life purpose with these 3 levels simultaneously. I kind of hit the jackpot on that one because I activate all 3 of those to do this work that I'm doing right in this moment. It's all woven together. But it took a really long time to get there, and that's why I do these readings for people and have for decades, right? So we're doing 13 cards, adding the new chakra reading cards that I picked up in Saratoga Springs at the Magic Moon when I visited last week. So let's get up in this gig, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can for the well-being of all. Please take a nice deep breath. And here we go. As I call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters, and the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, using the Caroline Myss archetype deck, please, I need 3 archetypes. What are the 3 dominant 8th chakra archetypes hovering over the head for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, setting the electromagnetic dynamics for every other chakra, what they attract and they repel in this 3 level of power, life, purpose, work, career, vocation read. So in their work, figures Gemini, 2 cards, keep hitting my hands. What is the dominant archetype in their work? Their survival intuition, how they navigate through the physical world. Okay, the literal level of power, 1st level of power. For their career, their creative intuition, their hunger, their passion, what they yearn for, what they burn for, their creativity, right? The 2nd level of power, the internal world. We got the masculine energy, the feminine energy, if you want to look at that way. But then what's going on in their vocation, their calling, the dominant 8th chakra archetype going on there, their visionary intuition, right? Their spiritual calling and all that jazz. Let's see who we are dealing with. We are dealing with a Messiah guide virgin. I know we lay them out this way. We read them this way from the physical up to the spiritual, but when you list the archetypes, you reverse it. So we're dealing with a Messiah guide virgin. So the virgin is the feminine family of archetypes, the guide, the mystical, the divine family of archetypes, as is the Messiah. So two divine family archetypes and a feminine family archetype. But feminine isn't about biological gender. It's more yin rather than yang. So on here is the shadow and the light. This is the stuff that you're working on healing. This is what you're shooting for. Lead to gold, shadow to light, pain to peace. Lead is an insulator, energy can't move through it. Gold is a conductor, it moves it along. Your electromagnetic balance, right? This affects all the other chakras underneath it. So in your work, your shadow attribute is fear of intimate union, which I get. I'm a Virgo. I get it. Well, I mean, I'm fully vaxxed, and still, right? And still, like I said, I'm meeting a former student of mine for coffee at a Starbucks today, and I'm still gonna have my sanitizer in the car, right? So you can get that, but here's what you're shooting for: maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Now, I have a good touch of the virgin archetype. It's obviously not a sexual thing with me at this stage in my life, but like, good choreography done poorly. I'm a bit of a purist, right? Carolyn Myss makes the best example. She goes, there's a stick of butter on the table and it's got like breadcrumbs and knife hacks in it. I'll pass, right? I'll make a stick of butter. So symbolic purity of heart and spirit. So, you know, in the workaday world, that can be a little bit rough, right? In your career, you've got the guide archetype. The shadow places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. Oh yeah, I'll tell you exactly what I see. Right? Now, that doesn't mean there shouldn't be an equal exchange, right? You know, Reiki, right? One of the basic principles needs to be an equal exchange, right? In some way, shape, or form, even if that's pay it forward. But the light attribute represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. This is about unity consciousness. So, you know, just this right here, like if you want to hire a guide, let's say you're going to Hawaii and you've never been before, you want to hire a guide to take you around. You don't want somebody flying over with you their first time right on the plane. You want somebody who's lived there, right, who knows the vibe of the place and the places to go. So with the virgin archetype in the physical world, this could be a very, very interesting dynamic, how your career manifests itself in your work, your inner manifesting itself in the outer. But then we got the Messiah archetype in your vocation. Now, Messiah is scriptural word for sure, and trigger. So let's look at the archetype. The shadow attribute, exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. I'm self-employed. I can feel that. But it's an exaggerated belief. It might be true, but it's not the ultimate truth, right? Where no one of us, I alone do nothing, but with the divine all things is possible. So what you're shooting for here is serving humanity with humility. Love that. Serving humanity with humility, representing the divine in all of life and yourself, like following that guidance, at least for yourself, right? And maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. I like it. I like it a lot for you. It feels nice. You know, where you are on the scale of lead to gold there, that's what makes it a general read. So let's look at the next four chakras down. The crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart. Spiritual power, mental power, willpower, choices, decisions, what you say, what you don't, right? And emotional power, the feminine energy. Daughters of the Moon Tarot, a goddess tarot deck. Fiona Morgan, brilliant. I've read this deck longer than any other. I got it when I was 19. I'm 53. You know, I don't look at things. That's what happens when you line your chakras, work, career, vocation, I guess. Let's see what hits the table. Breathe. By the way, I'm well aware of what's going on planet Earth. I watch the news on my breaks and I pray and, you know, all of that and bless the world as best I can, and then I come back and do this. So let's try and keep it light, shall we? I feel like these cards are about to jump out of my hands. As I call upon my goddesses of air, the sign of Gemini, powers of the East, please 3 cards, one at a time, straight up. What's going on? Heart, third eye, crown, the internal experience, the yin-internal experience, the feminine energy experience, heart, third eye, crown. for the Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading with the Virgin in the 8th chakra of their work. What's going on inside that? The world behind their eyes. The Lover's card. A life-changing decision. When it's a major arcana, heart, third eye crown, it's all four at once, where individual elements can find their focus in a specific chakra. So this is very third chakra, though, choices and decisions. But the Virgin having to make the purest decision that they can make. The difference between a choice and a decision is voltage. I think I'll have another cup of coffee is a choice. It will have a consequence. I make really good coffee. I really, really do. Potion witch. But a decision, I'm going to quit everything and I'm going to grow my own beans. I'm going to make my own coffee and I'm going to sell it to the world. Witch's Brew Coffee Inc. That's life-changing, at least for the person doing the startup, right? So with the Virgin there, with a fear of intimate union, there is a real decision here that's life-changing, but it's to make the most loving, wise, empowered decision that you can. Yeah. The feminine, the masculine, and then the decision, divine father, divine mother, divine child, to make that decision with the purity of heart and spirit. Neat. All right, the guide in the 8th chakra of their career, heart, third eye crown dynamic. Please, my goddesses, what's going on inside of all of that? A court card. When the court card is heart, third eye crown, it's talking about inside of you, more about a house placement. 11th house here, we have the Aquarius card, the crone of blades. Exchel, I think is how you say your name, although that's probably very Americanized. I'm probably not saying that right. The crone of blades would be the Queen of Swords in the tarot, the Aquarius card here, flying above it all and seeing it from a more higher chakra point of view. 11th house is also about humanitarianism, right? And groups and the rebels of the zodiac, seeing and thinking outside the box, but gaining a stratospheric fixed air, like think the frozen atmosphere, right? Fixed air hovering above the planet here, seeing things from the satellite point of view. For the guide archetype, that's pretty right on. But it's going to come third eye, and being that you are a Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus, then really this feels like there's some nice leverage here for you in that third eye. Exchel, the eagle woman, flying with scissors, really like seeing from the highest heights what needs to stay, what needs to go, right? In terms of guidance. A GPS POV. E-I-E-I-O. What's going on there with the Messiah in their vocation, right? I get that. Oh, if I don't do it, it won't get done, which is true from day to day, but I alone do nothing. With the divine, all things are possible. It's in my book, Words of Grace. Link in the description box. What do you got for the Messiah? I love Gemini reads. They're fun. My guides, my goddesses. What's going on there in their vocation? Messiah in the 8th chakra. Show me. Nope. Gemini's problematic. Problematic shuffle. It's like pop-o-matic bubble. What's going on? Heart, third eye crown there for the Gemini Collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. And we got the 4 of Pentacles. I love this. Security. Right? It is that safety. It is that stability. It's not so much the closed heart that we see in the Rider-Waite Tarot as much as we see a stability. Women in a tribal situation going to the local watering hole, and though this is not an element of water, it is an element of earth, they know that that well will not run dry. It is a sense of security. It is a sense of something within yourself. Now, an earth element on the inner is about wisdom. So you do have a lot of wisdom under your belt, but it's not a 10. You're not quite there yet in terms of this. So with that solid foundation inside of you, this can also be about safe boundaries, right? Knowing what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't. We'll look at that in the next 3 cards that hit in terms of the solar plexus chakra. But for heart, third eye crown, you may be a little guarded about your heart, particularly if you're stressed over it. You know, it's all up to me, or we're doomed. It'll never work, right? Or that serving humanity with humility. And the grace of humility I learned from Carolyn Myss in her book, Entering the Castle by Carolyn Myss, and then went deeper and Defy Gravity. That is what I call my saving grace, what I call the maiden grace, the virgin grace. Grant me the maiden grace of humility to know that I do not know, but I am willing to be shown, right? I know I don't know. I don't see the big picture. Although I feel like here in your career, get into the third eye, you might see a nice chunk of it. But with that stability and that solidity on the inside can allow you to be, yeah, no, I know I don't know the whole everything, but I'm willing. I'm willing to serve here. I like this. This feels really lovely. But the decision you have to make about the physical world needs to be made in the internal world as this balances out. Next three cards will complete the chakra system, at least. The lower three chakras, the yang, the external, the masculine energy. You looking at yourself from the outside, right, sort of popping out, seeing yourself horizontally, or you from the inside looking out at a person, place, or thing. Can be both of those sometimes. First chakra, root chakra, groups, tribes, societies, fan clubs, you know, your family, your circle of friends, the corporations. Any three or more beings is a tribe, energetically speaking. Second chakra, one-on-one relationship between you and another person or thing, including money, is a one-on-one relationship. Solar plexus, your relationship to yourself, your honor code, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't, your boundaries, right? Your self-estimation as a verb, your survival intuition that nobody else gets but you in that moment, right? That's why it's connected to self-esteem. Let's see what hits the table. Breathe. As I call upon my gods of air, the sign of Gemini, powers of the East, please, my beloved, three cards in clarity for the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading in their work, career, vocation, lower three chakra dynamic, please. Virgin in the 8th with the lovers on the inner in their first level of power, work, survival, intuition, lower three chakra dynamic. Mythic Tarot, is that the card? It is two cards, but it felt like one. Geminis, please leave the card in my hand, my beloved, for the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, and it's cloudy with a chance of meatballs, vegan or otherwise. You got the Moon card, Hecate, who's also the crone of the crossroads. Things may not be very, very clear on the outside, but I will say you have two major arcana, one on the inner, one on the outer there. So for you to maintain the symbolic purity of heart and spirit in this world, knowing that you don't know, right? It's like, I don't know, things are really cloudy right now. This might be this might not just be a choice. This might be a decision. I need to make the most loving, wise, empowered decision. That's the masculine and the feminine, unified as, where are you? Unified as the lovers. That's it. There it is. But you got the guide on the inner. It's saying go in. It says go further in and higher up. What was the last book in the Narnia series by C.S. Lewis? Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but that was the thing when they go to Aslan's land, which is a little hard to say. Further in and higher up, or higher in and further up, something like that. The Last Battle. Thank you, C.S. Lewis. You never know who your spirit guides are until they show up. Breathe. My gods of Gemini. What do you got for the gems in their career? Guide in the 8th chakra, Aquarius, Ixchel, Eagle Woman, Stratospheric. I mean, you talk about a clairvoyant card there, seeing holographically, seeing the big picture. What's that look like on the outside looking in, inside looking out, lower three chakra dynamic for the gems? Three of Wands. You're willing to wait. You're willing to pledge your loyalty, at least to this internal process. That does make sense with the moon here. in your actual work in the world. Remember, a lot of people don't get paid by their work. They get paid for their career or their vocation. I just happen to have woven all of them together as one thing in this life for some reason, for some purpose, I should say. So 3 wands, waiting for your ships to come in for sure. So this does not feel very active on the external, but it feels very active on the internal. In terms of your career. Things that are worth doing well and often worth waiting for, but this might also be, that makes way more sense, you really tapping into this guide archetype to see clearly what your loyalty systems are. What are you willing to wait for? What are what are your priorities in terms of your desires, your element of fire, and your choices? This is pretty clear. Pretty clear. It's going to apply to anyone in any situation, certainly, but certainly I think if this is somebody wanting to make a change of job to pursue their career as a result of their creative, intuitive guidance, I feel like that's what this is. So the Messiah, your calling here, humility is key. I'm just going to tell you. And humility is the shield against humiliation, right? People think it's like, oh, fool me, oh, humble me. Please, sir, can I have some more? Right? And not necessary. Humility is the shield against humiliation, according to Carolyn Myss, and apparently St. Teresa of Avila. Seriously, Entering the Castle. Brilliant work. Let's look at the Messiah then, my gods of air, sign of Gemini, powers of the east, Messiah in the 8th, security, 5 of Pentacles on the inner. What you got on the outer for their vocation, their calling? Ace of Wands, yeah. There's something you want to start. There's a new journey. This is Zeus issuing the quest of the Golden Fleece to eventually Jason and the Argonauts. That's the story in the mythic tarot of the wands. So it does, that's why I say if you read it this way, so the Messiah wants to serve, has the inspiration, has the desire to do it, and has the stability to do it in your spiritual calling, which means you could do it online at Starbucks, right? You could do this silently. There's so many ways that you could do that. But in the career, you're having to really go inside, heart, third eye crown, and see this from a higher place and really evaluate with them their flying scissors of Excel what stays, what goes in terms of your priorities, your loyalty, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't. 3rd chakra, 3 of flames. It's a good way of looking at it, 3 of wands. So that the Virgin, well, I don't know. I'm afraid of intimacy. The world's nuts right now, right? Or at the time of this recording, at least. So a life-changing decision that's cloudy. The chance of meatballs. Because it's funner to say it that way with war going on in the Ukraine. For now, right? Let's keep it light. This does make sense. So, tarot on the table. You got your chakras on the table. Let's get you a healing mantra for each level of power from the Kahn Healing Mantra deck. Highly recommend this deck. All the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box. And I just added the chakra reading cards. This one does come with a bookie book that I usually read, but for 3 of them, no. I'm going to save the bookie book reading for the chakra cards because they're long and they're cool. So I would highly recommend writing down these mantras. And playing with them, saying them in different orders, putting them together in a paragraph. And if you do that with your other signs, you could have a whole, means of spiritual practice for this to bring it all into alignment. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon the Ascended Masters of Life Purpose through the lenses of work, career, and vocation for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Watching this video, receiving this reading, please, in their work. The Virgin archetype in the 8th, Lovers on the inner, Hecate, the Moon on the outer. Actually, that Lovers card is called Aphrodite, so Aphrodite on the inner, Hecate on the outer. What's the perfect healing mantra there? I'll do them face down. We're going to go look. We'll do them all at once. For their career then, please. They've got the guide in the 8th. The Aquarius, Queen of Swords, Crone of Blades, Ixchel, the Eagle Woman on the inner, Three of Wands on the outer in their career, their creative intuition, what's the healing mantra there, and for their vocation, their spiritual calling, they've got Messiah in the 8th, Four of Pentacles on the inner, that solid wisdom, but a real resting place to move forward while they contemplate this Ace of Wands, this new opportunity that really speaks to their calling, and they have a good foundation for within. The perfect healing mantra for that, please, in this timeless work, career, vocation reading. Let's see. Growing beyond guilt, rewiring the nervous system, and unraveling codependency. Oh boy, yeah, a lot of choices and decisions here. And if we were to read that in reverse, spiritually your calling is about unraveling codependency in this arc of time you're in your career. It's about rewiring your nervous system. And oh my God, it makes so much sense. In your work, it's about growing beyond guilt, not just yours, other people's. That's why the fear of intimacy. All right, so the mantras themselves for your work couldn't have happened any other way. Couldn't have happened any other way. Of course, it needs to be cloudy right now because your eyes might be clouded by mistakes of the past, some lead, some guilt, some fear, some shame, you name it, that needs to be loved, be healed, to maintain that symbolic purity. If you know you did your best, right, and you're at a crossroads and you can't see what to do there, if you can maintain the symbolic purity, like it says, of heart and spirit, to say, you know what, it's a learning curve for everyone. When I was a child, I played with childish things. Now I am an adult, I put away the things of childhood. Get that I can come about this with a real fresh way. I can grow beyond this guilt. Other people, because it's really hard to get that for yourself if you're not willing, at least in theory, to begin giving that to other people. Couldn't happen any other way. And in the quantum, that's just true. Work, career. We got the guide, rewiring the nervous system. I find strength in surviving my traumas. Makes sense, right? The divine within you is going to show you something, guide you to something from a very, very high perspective, maybe a higher unifying truth here. It's going to make you reprioritize things. So I find strength in surviving my traumas. Now, I believe the medical definition of a trauma means a wound that cannot heal, right? A traumatic brain injury. It just pops to mind. But, you know, there's the emotional, there's spiritual trauma, all sorts of different kind of traumas. So to rewire the nervous system allows you to take whatever is going on here in your work, career, vocation, particularly your career, and because it couldn't have happened any other way, to really say, I find strength, the grace of fortitude in the heart chakra, I find strength in surviving my traumas in spite of them, but because then you can maybe little bit by little bit by little bit see how that everything that happens to make us better from the soul's point of view. The ego fucking hates that, and the personality kind of goes like this. Well, which is it? Which is it? Is it love or is it fear? Is it all happening for us or is it all happening to us? Yeah. Big. But fly high enough, you'll get some clarity on that. Digging that for you. In your vocation, unraveling codependency, only I have to feel good about my choices. Why do I know that without looking at the card? Because I have worked this Maja, like a fiddle from hell, a fiddle from heaven, the underworld, Elysia, Elysian fields, Isle of the Blessed. It seems like a little of both. Only I have to feel good about my choices. So you do get to choose whether you want to be like, it's me or it's never going to happen. The world just can't go. An exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed, and a cause can very much be about somebody's calling. But to serve humanity with humility here, saying to somebody, look, I'm doing the best that I can, and only I have to feel good about my choices. If I'm getting a download right, from above. My sealed orders are being unsealed. My holy orders, my divine orders, my sacred contracts activate. Form of unraveling codependency. Only I have to feel good about my choices. And what are we looking at here in the physical world? We are looking at that life-changing decision that only you have to feel good about. And don't kid yourself, codependence doesn't just happen in romantic relationships. It's familial, it's tribal, and in other words, not all one-on-one, right? It can totally be about a corporation, a belief system, right? Only I have to feel good about my choices. It's a very healing thing here. I love Matt Kahn. Bless his heart, bless his soul. May he be blessed with all the kale and sweater vests he needs and wants for the well-being of all. He is younger than me. I do get that little brother vibe. I kind of tease him a little. We've never met. I don't think he knows who I am, although he probably does. I'm sure his ascended masters were like, check out this one. Our last card down is our new deck, the chakra reading cards. Excuse me, throat chakra vibe on the table. Ancient Wisdom to Balance and Heal. The chakra reading cards by Rachel Sharman, Rachelle. So I guess it'd be Rachel Charmant. If she's French, that is, I would think, more of a French spelling, or at least a Latin-esque. Latin languages, Romance languages. Rockpool Publishing, my first thing from them, and I'm digging it big time. So this might give a little bit more of an indication, chakra-wise, of where your leverage is. Remember I said at the beginning, check your other signs. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. You work on one, it helps balance the other. So let's see. Higher selves of all involved. Breathe. Still point. Last card down as I call upon the higher selves of all involved. Because unraveling codependency involves other people, right? And rewiring the nervous system probably involves some other people there with those traumas that they are living through, surviving. And that growing beyond guilt has probably got some other people, places, and things involved in there too. So the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. What is the chakra reading message here for them, for the Geminis, fulfilling their life purpose in this work, career, vocation read? The second chakra, one of the second chakra cards, card number 12, relationships, or as I like to call them, the kissy trees. Smoochy, smoochy trees. Kissy trees. Kissy trees. Kissy trees. Card number 12. I love this deck, D-E-C-K. So, you know. So that you hear what I'm actually saying. No Jungian, Freudian slip there. It's a little long. Worth it, but it ends with an affirmation that you can add and mix in with all of these. So I'm going to read you this, I'm going to give you the blessing, and we'll talk a little bit at the end. Breathe. From the second chakra section, card number 12, relationships. You have attracted this card into your awareness today, as it is a powerful time and opportunity to deepen relationships, which would be a challenge to the shadow of that virgin archetype, right? Fear of intimate union. Relationships are the way we connect to all things in our world, not just people. This could be a relationship with yourself, your partner, your family, friends, pets, creative projects, your home, and your community. For things to grow, expand, and to be healthy, your relationships need to be fed and nurtured. Now is a good time to see which bonds require some more love and attention, and assess the ones that are not so healthy for you at this time. Now, just to stick a pin in that, second chakra is lower 3 chakras. That's the first level of power. Heart, third eye crown, second level of power, 8th chakra, third level of power. So it makes sense with the levers that you're going through some life-changing decisions here, but I think the real decision is is about growing beyond the guilt on all sides here, little by little, but on the outside it's cloudy, but you got to make that decision. Now is a good time to see which bonds require some more love and attention, and assess the ones that are not so healthy for you at this time. Exactly what we're looking at there. What awareness is required to shift the energy around any challenging relationships? What do you need to assess, or what do you need to express for this relationship to heal? Growing beyond guilt. This feels like that's your leverage. Whether this card releases your intimate relationships or relationships in general, know that there is great opportunity for growth and connection. Through relationships, you learn about yourself and others. They are an integral and important part of your life's journey. Our relationships teach and mirror many traits back to us. Sometimes this reflection is hard to accept. You see the growing beyond guilt thing? What is repressed is projected. It's just psychological law, and also in Course in Miracles, by the way. However, when you are willing to see yourself honestly and work positively with your behavior, then there is a huge opportunity for growth. The key is to accept and love every aspect of yourself and set yourself free from judgment and limitation. There is an abundance of love and healing that comes with a solid, fulfilling relationship. Take time. There's our Three of Wands. Take time to nurture your relationships. Put in the energy to allow them to grow and expand into beautiful friendships or deeper connections. It is also a powerful time to create long-lasting, healthy relationships with yourself and be your new best friend. Because only you have to feel good about your choices. That doesn't mean burning down the village is a good choice, right? It may feel like in the moment, let's rip him to shreds. He's so dull. Come on, rip him to shreds. No, that's not the best, healthiest choice for you. It won't feel good long term. Only you have to feel good about those choices. The affirmation: my relationships are aligned with my highest good and my soul's purpose, and that's soul contracts, twin flame soulmates, and all that jazz. I can certainly say the relationships that you have involved in this are key. This is not you doing it solo, and yet that virgin archetype might not want to deal with anybody else on this, while there are still chains of pain through guilt in here. And remember, a chain of guilt against someone else is still a chain against yourself, because you're still holding on to the chain. Let me put this together for you in a little bit of a blessing, and then we'll chat a little bit at the end, shall we? Clear that throat chakra. Please take a nice deep breath. I'm going to read it backwards, so to speak. Here we go. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Gemini collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, that they may be blessed with all that they need in their work, career, and vocation. That in their vocation they can serve humanity with humility, with that stability of the Four of Pentacles, that inner security of it, with this new inspiration, this new desire coming in, getting that they can unravel codependence here. That they have the opportunity to do that, because only they have to feel good about their choices, so that in their career they can represent the nature of the divine in life and in themselves, following that guidance and that grace with a higher Aquarian, friendly, humanitarian POV, coming down through the chakras, really looking and assessing who needs to stay, who needs to go in terms of their relationships, right? What they are willing to wait for, what they're not willing to give their energy or loyalty to, while they rewire their nervous system, gaining strength from surviving their traumas, so that in their work they can maintain the symbolic purity of heart and spirit, making the life-changing decision in front of them, while that crossroads be cloudy, and growing beyond guilt, getting that it couldn't have happened any other way, so that all the relationships past, looking at that guilt, present going on in their life currently and future where they are headed are able to be healed, understanding that their relationships are not happening to them, they are happening for them. Characters on the path of true love, which involves more than romantic people, inspiring each other, helping each other, and sometimes inspiring each other by teaching us what not to do. The toxic behavior that couldn't have happened any other way. May they be so blessed that they may bring together their work, career, and vocation, align their chakras, alchemize the lead to gold in their life purpose, becoming more fulfilled in their energy field in their life, and therefore being a blessing on all of life. And may all of us find this fulfillment and this alignment to bless the people of Ukraine, that they may keep their sovereignty, their freedom, their identities, their families, their homes, their safety, their work, career, vocation in alignment for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So mote it be. And so it is. I just got passionate for you there, Gems. I hope you liked it. I did. But did you like it? Then like it. Hit the thumbs up. Help the other Geminis find the video, if you will. If you want more of me here on YouTube, hit the subscription button. Subscribe, and the notification bell, because I'm a busy witch. I'm a professional witch. Dress for the job you want, ask a witch. So you hit the button, you get to know as soon as I put them out. And certainly, if you want to go deeper, come Patreon on patreon.com/Drawing the Circle, because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, professional witch, professional intuitive, blah, blah, blah. But you can call me Mal. I love you, my gems. I wish you very much the very best and the very best of your work, career, vocation. Bring it into alignment, ya twins. Stay outrageous, stay truly, truly, truly outrageous. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.